Welcome to Netmums Chat, where we're talking about neglecting friendships after children. Is neglect even the appropriate word? I am very guilty of this, but I almost do it deliberately. For the years when my children are small, I have had to make a decision whereby when I'm not at work, I want to be with my kids, and if my friends can't cut me a bit of slack for a couple of years, then I think that's a bit mean of them. But Ashley, you always have a go at me about this when we go out, so tell me what you think.
I totally disagree with you. I feel that your friends who may be single, or the ones that have chosen just not to have children, or maybe can't have children, it's not really that fair to because your life stage has changed, for you just totally to drop them out and expect them to be free in say 6 years' time. I don't think that, even from when I was at school, when the friends get a boyfriend and they drop all their friends out because they've got a boyfriend, and then when they break up they try and come back.
It's a bit different to that though, isn't it? Because your children do deserve your time.
They do, but I feel like all relationships deserve your time, and my friends make the sacrifice that they'll come to a rainbow party and help me decorate cupcakes. And then I'll make the sacrifice that sometimes even when I'm tired, I'll go to Kensington Roof Gardens and go to a singles night lock and key party to entertain.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's not very that's
a whole new conversation.
But I believe that having those, as much as it's so important that I have a child and I make as much time for her as possible, and I have to balance it with working, I do also think that those relationships are important, and I shouldn't, and it not only selflessly because I'm such a good friend, but I think it makes me, I have to be a mum, the person who goes to work.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
On that as well, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, who I was before I had kids, I still want to retain that, and my friends are a big part of that. So I want to have that social interaction, particularly friends who don't have kids. It's great, to go out and not talk about kids. They might ask about my kids to be polite or whatever, and I might tell them briefly, but then we just talk about all this other stuff.
I'm not saying that you should never speak to anyone ever again and say call me in 7 years' time, I'm busy. But I'm just saying that there's a natural churn and a natural, you are free a bit less, you just
but then I think
you can't go out every Friday and Saturday night
you have to choose to make that time though, because obviously there is a natural churn. So I make sure that I'm free for all of my friends' birthdays. We go on one girls' holiday a year, which is a weekend that I'll make time to go on throughout the year.
I love my girls' weekends, definitely.
And if they want to go for longer, if they want to go for a week, they understand that my child has to come.
Yeah.
And they get that. We went to Italy, my child came with 4 or 5 girls. They got drunk in the evenings, I put her to bed. Sometimes I went to bed at 8 with her, but we were there, and I think 2 things coexisted, and we do a Christmas dinner. So I make time, even though obviously a lot of times I'm really tired and I prefer not to wake up, and I feel guilty. You always feel guilty in the mornings when I wake up and I do have a hangover because this is the day that I'm looking after my daughter. I feel like a terrible person, but for me, I need that balance.
And me too.
I do wonder if the type of friends you make will change as well. I mean, ones that do have children, there's obviously an easy one, then you can all hang out together.
Yeah.
Or if people just are more accepting of you. Whereas I had a friend who I think she was the one who had the issue with me, rather than me neglecting her, because I tried to make the effort. So I wouldn't suggest going out with her.
I was going to say that works both ways sometimes, doesn't it? When you've had a child, sometimes your friends without kids are like,
so I felt a bit sad. I felt that was quite sad, and I didn't feel that was my fault for neglecting her. So I sort of kind of try and do both. Normally I try and get hang out with friends at the weekend. They come around for lunch. That's usually the easiest way. That way I feel like getting both.
I think my circle of friends has really changed. I think I naturally gravitate towards the ones with kids because it is easier.
Well, when your kids start school, as I'm sure that you two have found and you'll found, you get a whole bunch of new people that you kind of get to know, because they'll have different friends and you'll get to know their parents.
I don't like new friends.
There'll be more friends. Actually,
there's no time.
Speak to me in a year.
That's the thing that I find
fascinating.
fascinating. I think my kids have opened up whole new avenues of friendships. I've got loads of mum friends who I didn't know before I had my kids, and they tend to be people I see on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm at work.
My friend page is full.
Would you hang out with
Whereas I know your big thing is my friends are my friend, and I don't need any new ones.
Yeah, I don't need any.
Would you?
I'm always accumulating more people along the way.
If you didn't have kids, would you hung out with those same mums.
Yeah, there's a kind of a core 3 or 4, and I think
you gravitate towards the mums, don't you? That you'd probably be friends with anyway. You know, had they got kids or not.
Gravitate towards the slightly rebellious.
Which are usually the mums that want to go out and have a good time.
Yeah.
Just for a chance.
But then you are friends. Like, I do have some mum friends that I definitely wouldn't be friends with if, like, that we spend time with Raven, that we would never have been friends if we didn't have children. And I think that's interesting because it does open you out to
different types of people.
Different types of people. But I do think it is important to stay in contact with your friends.
Oh yeah, my core friends I've known for like 25 years.
I'm not saying I don't, but I just think everyone has to understand that it can't be the same. I personally think it was sad if you tried to be the old person and the new person. To me, it seems like a bit of a...
No, I don't think it's about that. It's about still retaining your identity for me. You know, I am mum, and that is my most important role, but I'm still me, like you said earlier.
And also, I like the influence of, like, actually the silly drunken friends. I like the influence they sort of have on my daughter, because she does have like grandparents and like other mum friends, and she's around people who are quite serious all the time. And then at her birthday party, maybe they will have 1 or 2 too many Prosecco's, and they'll be like in the ball pit. Yeah, and like she just thinks they're the most fun people in the world.
Yeah, I agree. Right, so let us know what you think about mum friendships and whether it's okay to neglect your friendships with when you have kids in the comments below, please.